Welcome to QCC's Face the Region. Face the Region is produced by Quinsigamond Community College to assist our region in attaining educational, economic, and personal prosperity. Now, here's your host, WCRN's Hank Stoltz.
This is QCC's Face the Region on News and Talk Radio, AM 830 WCRN, and I'm very pleased to once again have with us the Director of Admissions for Quinsigamond Community College, Michon Davis-IN. And Michon, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me, Hank.
Let's talk a little bit about, as I come driving in today, I see, as I'm coming up the driveway, it says, one stop. So everybody can kind of come in. This is one-stop shopping to get signed up for
Classes.
Everything and anything and classes. Very good. Yeah, tell us a little bit about One Stop.
So One Stop is an upcoming 2-week period where all of the enrollment departments are going to be available to students without any need for an appointment. And that includes the admissions office, the financial aid office, our registrar's office, also our payment center, and lastly our advising office, which is the place to actually do the registering for classes.
Oh, that's great. So it really is. It's not false advertising, that's for sure. This really is one stop. So you go driving by, you see the sign, you come on up, and you come in, and you're going to get all set up. It sounds as if it's so easy. How long does this sort of one stop take? If you're getting ready for September, are you stopping in now as we're in the middle of July?
So it depends on where you are. We really do hope that you might have already at least applied to the college, and then the next steps are typically getting accepted to the college, which requires that you have a high school transcript, and then what you need to do is usually test, which is the AccuPlacer, to see what level English, math you're going to be in. And then once we have those scores, we can sign you up for classes to start you off on the right foot.
All right. So let's say somebody came today. That the One Stop is in action today. Just walk me through it. They come in.
Right.
What's the process that they're going to go through?
So they go through basically what we call what is the word for it? They have to go to the registrar's office and they see where they're at, because we have an open enrollment process where they could start by doing anything first. So the registrar sees where they're at and then tells them what they need to complete in order to be registered for classes. So a perfect example is a student might have applied to the college and been accepted but hasn't tested yet. So the registrar will tell them that they need to do these next steps, which are testing and also registering for classes. And then most importantly, making a plan for payment. So if they haven't done their FAFSA, they would suggest that they go to financial aid. And if they're not choosing to do their FAFSA, they can also go to our payment center and set up a payment plan.
When somebody does the testing, what does that really require? What goes on? So you're trying to find out where they are when it comes to English, when it comes to math.
Yes.
Where they are, if
Right.
they're ready to enter
college level
class,
math.
and if not, no worries. What
Right.
you have is that you have a course for them to take.
Yes, we do have developmental courses for English and math, and the goal is really just to make sure that they're successful by starting them on the right level, and then from there they will ramp up to the college level.
All right. How long? So when you come in today, then for the One Stop, you're not taking that test. You're not taking that test
You
right
can
away. You
at
can.
One
Oh, really?
Stop
You can
as
just
well.
come on in and just say,
Yes.
have a seat and take
Yeah.
it. How long does that take?
It usually takes 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time we encourage you not to do it that way, but it is
Right.
possible to do that.
Yeah.
But every office is available, not on an appointment basis, which
Wow.
usually during the year, most of these departments do require appointments. So that's why it's so convenient to students, because they could get realistically everything done in their enrollment process.
Isn't that great? All right, so that's fantastic, and then obviously that's a big load off your mind, because I'm guessing that for students, the number one thing is it's something new. It's something that you haven't been
Right.
through before. The sooner that you can get the process going, the more that you aren't scrambling at the last minute,
Right.
the more at ease you are.
Right, and that's one of the important changes that we did this year. We typically would have the one-stop registration right before classes started, but we realized that that's not enough time to get everybody through their process. Perfect example is if they have to apply to the FAFSA, it does take a few weeks for the government to come back and we're able to award after that. So now there's enough time if they come to One Stop during the last week of July and first week of August, there's enough time to process their FAFSA and ensure that they have a plan to pay for their college courses.
All right, and really when I talk about ease of mind, particularly for parents, probably if they're helping out or the student themselves, that's probably the biggest,
It is.
right?
It's very important. The
How do I
number
pay?
one reason why people choose QCC is because of affordability. And we want to make sure that it's the easiest and most convenient process for them as well.
So when you come in, you're going to get some help in that. I mean, is it just a little bit of tutoring, or you really will walk the person all the way through that process to be able to get that financial aid?
We can do it any way. We don't expect you to know everything when you walk through the door. We meet you where you're at.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, as you said, a good thing to have done before you show up. For those of you who right now are swinging the car around and you're on your way to the QCC campus, a good thing to have done though is to have stopped at the website first.
Yes.
And gotten that application going.
Yes.
And that's really kind of one stop as well. Very easy when you go to the website. What do you see when you go to the website? I mean, it's just click away.
Right. It basically is at our website, www.qcc.edu, and right on the front page it says apply now. You click on that, you fill out the application. You do need to submit proof that you've graduated from high school in addition to that, and that's it for the application.
Yeah.
And you will, we will let you know within about a week or two that you've been accepted once we receive that high school transcript. That is critical though. Without that, you will not have completed your application process.
Okay, and we'll go through all this again, gang, as we continue to talk a little bit about the one-stop registration process. We're going to be doing that straight ahead here on QCC's Face the Region on News and Talk Radio, AM 830 WCRN. It's QCC's Face the Region, and we're talking about one-stop registration. Director of Admissions is with us. Michon, thank you so much for being with us again here today. Let's talk, as we were just talking about this. So students come, one stop, they're registering. We've kind of walked through the process. Now, when the students come in, and I guess maybe, I don't know, for whatever reason today, I'm just kind of hung up on this ease of mind, and I think I'm having flashbacks to just how nervous I was
Right.
when I was younger, and it was it was something new, and what does this mean? And you've been a senior at high school, and you were ruling the roost, and now all of a sudden everything is going to be different when you go off to college. What are the most frequently asked questions that you get, and maybe, I mean, is there something that you find that students are kind of nervous about or concerned about when they come walking in, and after you explain it, they go, oh, whew, that isn't as tough as I thought?
So they are often not sure that, or not understanding that there's so many departments that they have to go to in order to enroll. As you probably remember when you were going to college, I remember not knowing what the bursar was, had no idea what that word meant. And so we have the same challenges with these students, is that they don't know what the process is, and it's a two-tiered process. The first process is applying to the college and making sure you're accepted, testing and registering. But the other part is paying for your education, which does require either you apply for the FAFSA and see what you're awarded, and or do a payment plan or pay in full. The minute that you register for classes, you have created a bill. Okay, and that's the part that people usually do not quite understand.
Right.
At the end of the day, you do have to pay for these classes, but what we make very convenient is the fact that we can help you fill out the FAFSA, we can help you with any questions or concerns about understanding what is financial aid in the first place, and then also you can set up a payment plan that could be on a monthly basis to help to ease and work that into your life and your expenses.
I think that's good too, financial aid. So when you go walking in, you really may not know what you qualify for. There, you could qualify for more than you thought, or I suppose it could go the other way, and it's like, hey, you know what? Nope, but decided that you probably have the means. But again, this is the place to come one stop and be able to get that help. So really, the financial aid is such a huge component. The bursar's office is where you're going to go. So what are some of these other departments? And is the bursar's
It's
kind of the
now
place
the
to
payment
stop?
center
Payment
because
center,
nobody
yeah.
understood what bursar
Bursar
meant.
meant.
So we call it the payment center.
Center,
And that's
yeah.
where you can actually do your payment plan or pay in full, however you're comfortable.
Right. All right. So you go to the payment center, and then where's your next? When you come for the one stop, I mean, how long should you sort of be planning on spending, perhaps, for the afternoon?
So the average student might stay here for about 3 hours to do one stop, because it just depends on where they are in the process. If obviously they're further along, it's less time, but if they have to test, that's 2.5 hours right there.
Yeah.
So-
All right. So that part when they come in, students are coming in right now,
Yes.
and
Yes.
will be all the way up until September.
Yes, especially during our walk-in Wednesdays, which happens still continuously every Wednesday. We have no appointments required, and that is very, very helpful to our working public because they don't have time to always make appointments for every single department, so that works out nicely for them.
I'm guessing, and maybe I'm wrong, that if you come in July, early August, and particularly if you do like a walk-in Wednesday, not as many people as if you're waiting until around Labor Day. What's the first day of classes?
I believe it's September, it's right after Labor Day.
Right after Labor Day.
And
So
that's always when the floodgates.
that's when all of a sudden everybody says, hey, I took the whole summer off, and I kept
Yes.
meaning to get to that. And all of a sudden it's crunch time, so you come in. So if you come in now, in the next couple of weeks, that helps out with the process as well.
It really does. It gives you enough time to be successful as a student.
When you actually come here, I said, that today as I'm driving in, I'm seeing the sign and it says, one stop. When you come in, because QCC campus is a pretty big place
It is.
right now. I mean, you guys just keep growing and growing and growing. Where are you headed?
You're heading to the Harrington Learning Center, which is the large building that has the glass facade. It looks very modern, but it looks very different from all the other buildings on campus. In there on the second floor is the beginning of the one-stop registration. You would just start in that building.
Yeah. What is it like, Director of Admissions? It sounds as if this is a pretty busy time, that you aren't in the summer slowdown the way
Yeah.
maybe the rest of the world is. What's it like in your office right now?
I consider it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is when people really come in, they're panicked about many different things, and this is where we put them at ease. Maybe they haven't heard about where they are in the process, what do they need to do next. That's where we assist them, and this is really where it's go time for us. We get a lot of people walking through the door during July, so this is a very busy month for us.
Is this a good time too, if you're coming in? Some people are coming in, they're going to get everything done. They're even going to sit down. They're going to test. They're going to know where they're going to place and everything else. Is this also a good time to come in if you're thinking of going back to college? If you're not sure, maybe you still have some questions, and maybe in your own mind you haven't fully committed to going to QCC in the fall.
Yes, it actually is a very good time to still do that. We always have enrollment counselors available to talk about that, as well as do career exploration using tools like MassCIS and ONET, and that very much helps people to make decisions about what they want to do next.
Well, you also have, this is a time when a number of people have just graduated high school and they're deciding to continue their career here at QCC, whether they're coming for all different kinds of things, whether it's a certificate program, they're coming for their associate's degree, they're coming because it is an inexpensive alternative to going immediately to a four-year school and they're going to transfer after 2 years, but also certainly time for people who are in that workforce and are thinking about coming back. Is the process any different if I'm a high school senior than if I'm 50 years old and looking for a new career?
No, it's not, which is good and bad. And so when you talked about what are some of the challenges that students have, we often have with our non-traditionals a fear factor for the testing for AccuPlacer, because they've been out of school for years and they don't know if they remember everything, which is completely understandable. Right. But we do have study guides that can help them to prepare for that testing so that it's easier for them to do.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to talk much more about everything that you need to know, just so that you can put your mind at ease. And the easiest thing, again, of course, is it's all one stop. So you want to go to the website, get the process started, then you can stop by, come in on make a plan to take, maybe Wednesday off, or you've got Wednesday morning free, and come on by for one stop. That's a good day, or any other time to come by for the one-stop registration here at QCC. We're going to continue our conversation straight ahead on QCC's Face the Region on News and Talk Radio, AM 830 WCRN. It's one-stop registration. This is QCC's Face the Region, and we're talking about registration today. And who better to do that with than the Director of Admissions, Michon Davis-Ayen, is with us. Michon, so far, so good, easy. Hopefully we're taking away some fear that some people may have, or some nervousness about coming and getting set up and ready to go on this next part of their academic career. Website we were just talking about a moment ago. People want to get started at the website. Where do they go? What's that like? And you said, some of it, how long you're going to spend here at QCC that first day might depend on how much time you've spent on the website. Walk us through the website. Maybe people will want to spend a little bit more time then before they come here to QCC.
Okay. So just so that you know, the one-stop website is qcc.edu/one. It's ONE stop STOP /. But if you go to our regular website, which is qcc.edu, you can learn a lot of things about all of our different programs, all of our services, which includes transfer, student activities, because for community college, I think that we have a lot going on as far as student activities. We have athletic teams, we have over 40 plus clubs, but we also have wonderful support services like academic tutoring. We have math tutoring, English tutoring, and general academic areas tutoring. We also have disability services, which really helps our students who have disabilities. They can really be, we can offer accommodations for them, whether it be, for example, extending test time, or if they need a calculator to do math exams, we can help them with things like that, as long as they provide us with their IEP. So we really do offer a very robust list of different services, and you can find out all about them on our website.
Boy, that's great. All right, so that's the first place to go. One more time for that website address.
It's qcc.edu/one-stop /.
All right, and we've told people that you can come by now.
Yes.
I mean, you can start all of this and get it going. What sort of, for those procrastinators out there, what is sort of the last date? I mean, what are the dates and times that people really need to have in their mind to make sure that they're ready to go in September?
Okay, so the first thing you should know is when One Stop is. It's July 25th to August 5th. And really, we do enroll into the first week of school. But I strongly do not suggest you to come here on the first day of school and expect to enroll in classes, because it is a process. So the best thing for a person to do if they're interested is to stop procrastinating and come to the college, because even though it does take a little bit of time, it's still considerably less time than it would be to go to a four-year institution.
Yeah. All right, so July 25th?
Yes.
Right up through really into August. I mean,
Yes.
As you said, it
Right.
is stretched a
One
little
stop
bit, but
is August 5th, but
August
we
5th,
will still be enrolling
Yeah.
people, and there will still be plenty of people
Yeah.
the week before school starts
Right.
coming to register for classes.
Right. As they get here, as they come to One Stop, as they get all set up, then what happens after they've gone through the One Stop process? They're waiting at home for their schedule to come?
No, they walk
They'll
away
get it- they'll
when
get
they
it right then.
register
Wow.
at the advising office. They walk away with a schedule, and then they get invited to an orientation, which actually happens a little later. It's right before classes start, just so they could acclimate to QCC and what are the
Sure.
expectations as a college student.
Sure. Yeah. No. I mean, I think that is that's fantastic. All right. So, as they get ready for that, what times during the day? I mean, is it 9 to 5 or is it?
So the times that we're available are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then on Fridays, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay, great. So plenty of time for people to be able to come and get this set up and get this squared away. I think we have probably covered most of what it is, as far as the nuts and bolts of what people need to know. I'll just kind of circle back a little bit too, because, people can listen to us talk, and until they actually come, there's going to be that little bit of nervousness. But really, I would think that when you go walking through the door, you're with a whole lot of other people who are excited about being here, who are excited about getting set up for their classes. And as you said, it seems as if there really isn't just this whole team of experts to come on in and get the money portion of it squared away, and then, to me, the most exciting part is picking those classes and getting those classes, and that must be a great part of it.
Yes, it is, Hank. And the most important thing about coming to do this early is that you get the classes that you want when you want, which is so critical. As time goes on, less classes are available because they do fill up. Sure.
No, I hadn't even thought about that, but of course, that makes perfect sense. You don't want to be left out of a class, or your schedule may be, if you're working and going to school, or whatever your situation may be, there are going to be some particular classes at particular times that you need. There's also classes that, is this right? There are classes that you're going to have to sign up for. For example, somebody who came in and takes the test in their placement, they're going to have to take that English class perhaps, or they're going to have to take a certain math class perhaps, and there's only going to be certain times that those are offered, and everybody's going to need to get into those.
Right. And actually, that just reminds me to also reiterate that we will have math boot camps for people who may test lower than they want to in the mathematics. What it is, it's usually a 4 to 5 day boot camp, which we test you at the beginning of the boot camp, and then you do rigorous practice for the week. And then by the end, you test again, and usually you're able to test into a higher class, or sometimes 2 or 3 levels higher. So that really helps people to save time and save money.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's like the SATs.
Yes.
You got to do the practice test as you do, and prepping for that. It really does. It really does help to do it. Just some, again, I think, again, a little bit of a theme that I've had kind of going, because as I say, I'm kind of flashing back to my own experiences. Some of it's just that anxiety. So you take those practice tests, then it's then you know what it is, or you go to the boot camp.
Right.
Then you really are prepared, and you know that you're prepared, and you're able to excel. So that's that's terrific. All right, what else? I think we're pretty much coming to the end of our time. Is there anything that we haven't gotten to that people need to know to come? Okay, tell us.
We are also having an admissions information session this Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Harrington Learning Center, and it's really about people who, like you said, might not know what they want to do or not understand what the process is. It's to explain that to them, and also if they apply that day, there is no application fee.
Okay, now is that the only one that's happening this summer to come?
Yes.
On Thursday? Okay.
In Worcester. We do
Worcester,
have
yeah.
admissions information sessions. I think there's one in August in Southbridge as well.
Okay, for people to be able to know. Terrific, one-stop registration. Thank you so much for talking to us about it.
Thank you for having me again.
Appreciate it. Mishan, it's great to have you on here, Director of Admissions here at QCC. I'm Hank Stoltz. This has been QCC's Face the Region on News and Talk Radio, AM 830 WCRN.
This has been Quinsigamond Community College's Face the Region with your host, Hank Stoltz. Join us again next weekend on AM 830 WCRN.